Lencho was a poor but hard-working farmer who lived with his family on the top of a small hill. His house was surrounded by a valley and fields of ripe corn. He had great faith that the coming rain would make his harvest perfect and bring prosperity to his family. As Lencho looked at the sky, dark clouds began to appear. With joy and hope, he exclaimed, "Now we're really going to get some water." Soon, large drops of rain began to fall. Lencho's heart filled with happiness. He compared the raindrops to new coins. The larger drops were 10-cent pieces and the smaller ones were 5s. However, his happiness didn't last long. Within moments, the pleasant rain turned into a terrible hailstorm. The hailstones fell for hours, destroying all the crops. The field, once green and full of life, looked as if it were covered with a thick layer of white salt. Lencho's heart sank in despair. He realized that without his crops, his family would have no food or money to survive. But Lencho's faith in God was unshakable. He was certain that God would help him, because he had always believed that God sees everything and never lets his children suffer hunger. The next morning, Lencho decided to write a letter to God. In his letter, he expressed his sorrow and his need. "God, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. I need 100 pesos to sow my field again and to live until the next harvest." He signed it simply, Lencho, and dropped it into the mailbox addressed to God. When the postman saw the unusual letter, he laughed at first, but he took it to the postmaster, who was deeply touched by Lencho's simple and pure faith. The postmaster said, "I wish I had the faith of the man who wrote this letter." He didn't want to disappoint Lencho, so he decided to help him in God's name. The postmaster and his colleagues collected money from their salaries and contributed as much as they could. Though they couldn't gather the full 100 pesos, they managed to collect 70 pesos. The postmaster put the money into an envelope, addressed it to Lencho, and wrote a single word on it: God. When Lencho received the letter, he wasn't surprised to see the money. His faith in God was so strong that he believed only God could have sent it. But when he counted the money and saw that it was 30 pesos short, his expression changed. He became angry, not because of God, but because he believed that the post office employees had stolen the remaining amount. Lencho sat down immediately to write another letter to God. In his letter, he thanked God for sending the money, but requested, "God, of the money that I asked for, only 70 pesos reached me. Send the rest, but please don't send it through the post office next time. The employees are a bunch of crooks."